You are so stupid. You're the dumbest person on the planet. Do you think the right has moved left over the past 10 years, or is it just pretense? Do you think the right has moved left over the past 10 years? What have they moved left over in the past 10 years? Americans only have an understanding of politics from the framework of social issues, and that's really fucking frustrating. They literally cannot see politics other than like, bro, Ronald Reagan was more pro-immigration than Democrats are now, right now. It's not like a... It's not a one-to-one comparison. It's not like a singular spectrum that you can look at. It's just, that's for fucking baby brain people. We had Donald Trump as a fucking president, folks. You know, I as much as I love Donald Trump's posts, and I think he's like funny overall, that motherfucker was the president. You're gonna sit here and tell me that we are having like straight up Nazi rallies on the fucking streets of the United States of America is not like severely moving towards the right? I mean, yeah, Ben is a bit of a lib, but like, this is a great take. Look, as I was alive in 2008, I must have forgotten about the John McCain stands who stormed the Capitol after he lost because they were convinced he was finally going to arrest all the lawmakers who were drinking baby blood under the pizza shop. What are we talking about? We're really going to act like the right has not solidified all of these ideas that they've been like establishing for a very long time and finally put it at the forefront because of their endless desperation to, you know, win over voters without actually doing anything meaningful. The left has not been able to move further left. I mean, there have been avenues of progress over the past like 20 years, but you got to ask them, like, can you explain that? Can you explain what those areas of progress have been and why that's bad? Always ask Republicans that question. Because like, this is the Elon Musk tweet, right? Like, this is the tweeting question, right? My fellow liberal, me, he's center left and the fellow liberals on the left. Years 2008, conservative, right? Okay. My fellow liberal, he runs away, the left man, okay? Expanding on the political spectrum further, I guess. And he's still center left, but the center moved left, he says. And the woke progressive now calls everybody a bigot, and the conservative just says lol. Now, why is this fucking stupid? Okay, let's cover this. This is George W. Bush. This is a George W. Bush loving Republican voter. He does not want stem cell research. This guy does not want stem cell research to be conducted. He doesn't think gay marriage should exist. Okay, he does not want gay people to be mentioned, but sees it in culture, and that frustrates him. This guy in 2012 is the same guy. He thinks the wars are good overall. This guy has caused a $7 trillion fuck up that has killed millions of people around the world, okay, and has advocated for that. This guy is still advocating for that, okay, and this guy is still advocating for that. Nothing has changed on the conservative side, so he's right about that, okay, except the center left and most of these like liberals have moved further and further to the right. And that's precisely why MSNBC touts George W. Bush as a good president in comparison to the Republican Party, in comparison to the rest of the Republican Party who are now bad. This motherfucker is now center right. His attitude has not changed at all. His attitude has not shifted at all. This is a reversal of actually what has happened. Now, this is incredibly reductive and incredibly fucking stupid regardless. This idea that like the political spectrum, especially in a country like the United States of America, your post about his post was dead on. He should pay someone to post for him. It's so embarrassing. Yeah, literally, dude. I mean, I'm surprised I'll probably get canceled for this because I said neurodivergent in my tweet, but I said, I think the most offensive thing about Elon Musk is how whack he is at posting despite being neurodivergent. Sorry, guys. Two groups on the fucking platform are the best at posting, okay? Neurodivergent people and trans people, okay? They're just goated at posting. Especially if you're neurodivergent and trans. If you're on Twitter, you're fucking across the board mentally ill regardless, okay? Like, this is just the truth. But goddamn, dude, how are you gonna suck this much ass? Like, you're literally posting boomer memes. I guess it's because he's 50 years old. They're gonna fucking murder you, but that's so good. It's just the truth. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of hiding the truth, okay? We literally posted her way into a Rolling Stone article. Yeah. People change. I voted for Bush, then I didn't. But no, that's not what we're talking about. According to Pew Research, Republicans have moved further to the right than Democrats have to the left. I mean, the average ideology of members by Congress. Yeah, this is fucking bullshit, okay? There's like three congresspersons that are like actually leftists or closer to the left now. And that's pretty much it. But the rest of the Democratic Party is firmly on like the center left or center right, as a matter of fact, from where I'm standing. Anyway, what are they even using for the metric of this? I mean, this is America. It's always going to be fucking idiotic. Their metric of ideology. He's admitting to not evolving with the times and instead staying content with his shitty politics law. Elon literally posed like a rage comic lover in 2022. It's fucking embarrassing for a guy who has 2 children. Elon Musk has like 11 children. Okay, incels for Engels. Elon Musk has like 11 children from multiple people. He has 2 children with Grimes, but I think he has like 6 with his like ex-wife or some shit. Yeah. Like Jay Schlatt right about now. When are you getting them sideburns? What do you mean? Bro, the jerk off, got the jerk off tissues on hand. Why is that wrong? Genuinely curious. I don't have any opinions on this. Why is this wrong? Because 1, it's incredibly reductive and borderline idiotic to assume that the American political spectrum is like on one consistent line, especially considering, first of all, you can't look at any political spectrum and assume it's only one singular line. Okay, that's so stupid. 2, especially in the United States of America, you can't do that because Americans don't have a consistent or cohesive ideology, and they mostly just pick and choose just a smorgasbord. Is that a good word for it? They pick and choose like psychotic positions that are inherently contradicting one another oftentimes. Okay, it's a la carte. Yes, that's good. It's a grab bag. Like you'll have, anti-vaxxers who are like anti-big pharma. They hate corporations. But then they're like voting for Republicans. You have libertarian police lovers. You know what I mean? It's just because they have no consistent, coherent worldview that is binded by their morals in any meaningful capacity. They haven't really like put a lot of thought or effort into what they believe. And that's precisely why they just like kind of pick and choose. But ultimately, it's just team sports for them. Trying to identify that trying to reduce that to like a singular line is insane. Trying to reduce that to a quadrant is also stupid. That's why I make fun of PCM all the time, political compass memes. Now, but if we were to do that, if we were to look at that from the most reductive position possible, I would go so far as to say that, yes, I mean, this kind of Pew Center study data shows that conservatives have become more conservative. The average ideology of the members by Congress have become more conservative, whereas Democrats, I guess, have not become more liberal. I'll give you another fact, according to research conducted on this matter, which is still ineffective for the most part because our understanding of the political dichotomy is also stupid. We think either you're more liberal or you're more conservative, but then you have leftists who are anti-capitalist. Are they conservative? Are they liberal? What the fuck's going on there? There's social issues. There's economic issues. If we are to assume this like idiotic reductive way of analysis, Americans don't vote on behalf of ideology. 20% of Americans only vote on behalf of ideology, whereas 80% of Americans vote on behalf of whichever party that they have voted for or their parents have voted for. So that's where that comes from. So even on that, it's just silly. All of this stuff is just silly. Literally, Americans with politics are like Christians with a religion. They cherry pick the fuck out of this shit. I mean, that's just the human condition, I think. A lot of people do that regardless. In Canada, only 2 parties have ever won. Yet we don't have that problem. That's not true. Historically, it wasn't just the conservatives or the liberals that were winning in Canada. Justin Trudeau's party, the NDP, that was profoundly successful for many, many years. What are you talking about? And NDP still wins provincial elections as well. NDP never won. Wait, NDP never won? How the fuck did you? Isn't NDP the reason why? Isn't NDP the reason why Canada has healthcare? NDP has never won a federal election. Oh shit! I thought they had a majority. NDP has not won a federal election. Oh damn, I'm wrong. Sorry. I thought that we literally do have that problem though. They win enough seats to make an impact though. I mean, that impact is marginal still. NDP don't win federally, only provincially. Canada has healthcare because of a minority government. NDP pushed the libs. Oh, well, even that is still better. NDP had opposition government in 2011. Liberals take all the NDP points, water them down, and end up winning because no one wants cons to win. Yeah, I mean, you saw that in France as well in the French elections. Just how it works. But a multiple party parliamentary system is still going to allow for at least some unique voices to be heard at the table, rather than entryism and trying to infest the Democratic Party and try to get the Democratic Party to actually act out on the desires that they claim they care about, like healthcare or wages for working class people, improving unionization rates in this country. These are the ideas that Democrats run on, and then they fucking literally immediately throw away as soon as they are in a position of power and wait for the Republicans to move the country further to the right socially so they can turn around and be like, hey, got to vote for us again. Look how bad these guys are. Oops. It's like, motherfucker, you're in power right now. What are you talking about? Who are you talking to, dude? Bitch, you're currently in power. Can't point to things going on right now and act like you're not currently in power. What do you want me to do? Vote harder for you? What's up? You want me to give you money? You want me to give you more money? Oh my God, dude. I mean, you're in power currently. It's so wild. They're like, oh, the midterms, we got to vote harder. We got to vote even harder for the Democrats. Like, look at the Republicans. Look at the Republicans. I'm like, bitch, I am looking at the Republicans, but you're the one in power. Do something. Fight them, okay? Fight them. Literally, physically fight them with your fucking hands. Democrats in Congress, go do fucking TRT, establish the gauntlet protocol, and start physically beating the shit out of Republicans. Okay? I'm sick and tired of this. Throw hands, motherfucker. Fight them with punches. Do something. Anything. Equal rights and equal lefts? Absolutely. Do you think Biden might actually cancel student loan, or at least some of it? Yes, Biden will do that. It's the one fucking gimme policy that he has that he can do literally at the stroke of a pen. And he's going to do that so that I think, by midterm elections if he wants to win. Dude, shut the fuck up. No, they're going to cancel it. They have to. It's crazy. That would be fucking bananas if they don't. Try something that wasn't drawn by an impressionable teenager. It's going to be means tested. It's going to be whack. People are going to fucking pick it apart. But look. Let me explain something to you guys. We're going to get to Biden's student loan debt cancellation in a brief moment. I just want to cover this whole Elon Musk posting saga. But that meme is kind of right. The parties are almost the same economically, but in 2008, the Dems were anti-gay marriage, and now they're okay with trans people. They have moved quite left socially. Okay, that is not a bad thing. But that is not also the end-all be-all of politics. That's why reducing it to a singular line is fucking stupid. Why is it fucking stupid? Because you can't just look at one line and be like, well, Democrats don't want to fucking murder gay people on the streets. Okay? Yeah, fiscal policy is still murdering people on the streets. Structurally. Structural poverty is, poverty is structural violence. And it's still, hurting people regardless. Hurting you. Might not understand. You think I'm using academic terms and you think I'm fucking crazy probably. But what I'm talking about is you, okay? You're poor. You're poorer than you were before. You're poorer than your father ever was. Maybe if you are from a marginalized background, you have a little bit more dignity. So you are reaching the same level as others do, okay? As far as the way that people don't shit on you immediately. So you can still be brutalized just like they do as far as you're a part of the peasant class, okay? That's it. That's the truth. Ultimately, Republicans like to latch onto wedge issues, okay? Wedge issues that they create that are completely just fucking made up. Things that Americans would normally just have consensus on or ultimately not give a fuck about, okay? These guys have the capacity to get you to care about high school women's sports. I mean, goddamn, dude. And you literally think that is the end all be all. You end up fucking thinking this is the most important subject we have to discuss. It's motherfucker, you're dying. You can't pay for your insulin. And you're over here worrying about high school women's sports because there's one fucking 12-year-old trans girl in the fucking state of Kansas, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know what to tell you. You are so fucking stupid. You are so stupid. You're the dumbest person on the planet. If you ever give more than a fraction of a fucking brain cell that fires off where you go, oh, who cares about this? Shut the fuck up and move on. If you do anything beyond that, you are the dumbest person on the planet. You are a fucking moron, okay? And to all the debate perverts who literally think that this is the end all be all, we gotta fucking discuss this shit endlessly. You are just as stupid as the fucking mouth-breathing Republicans you make fun of, dumbass. They are dictating the conversation. Every moment that you're having that conversation, which is fucking stupid as shit, purposely built around being as cruel as possible to the most fucking marginalized people on the fucking planet, okay, or at least in the United States of America, is a moment that you're not having actual conversations about what Republicans want to do and what Democrats are not doing. And Let me just explain something to you, okay? Let me just explain something to you dumb bitches one more fucking time. Democrats are responsible for this shit too because, hey, guess what? Biden talks about how he's going to abolish student loan debt, okay? Immediately, Republicans show exactly how violent and fucking horrible they are. What happened? Immediately, tomorrow, they're like, what's next? Are we going to fucking allow poor people to not go to debtor's prison? No, actually, oh, look at that. Immediately, Mitt Romney was like, no, actually, like, that's fucking insane that you're like trying to abolish student loan debt, trying to eliminate student loan debt. What's next? That's cheating. That's what they say. They immediately show their fucking faces. They show their asses. They show their true fucking villainous attitude that they have. They think you're inconsequential. Mitt Romney called it a fucking bribe, dude. And not only that, but then you have Republicans that take it one step further. They're like, I paid my student loan debt. I think the other people who can't should fuck themselves. It's like, what's wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? Oh, turns out when Democrats actually do something, reactionaries react to that something and try to fight back against that. But if Democrats are doing nothing, then reactionaries are going to find new things to fucking create, new problems to cause. Get Republicans to openly admit that they hate progress and they hate fucking alleviating debt and they hate giving working class Americans a dignified life. Get them to openly admit it. You can't get them to admit it in any other meaningful capacity. Folks, it's not that hard. The left has moved to the left in the U.S. and the right has moved to the right. You can, of course, complicate the story as much as you want, including by noting the Democratic Party is not synonymous with the left and the Republican Party is not synonymous with the right, and the GOP is probably radicalized more than the Democratic Party. But what Elon is encountering on Twitter is not the Democratic Party, but left-leaning thought leaders, media, academics, expert, activists, and the left. Most of those folks have moved to the left, especially in the public sphere, maybe privately, not as much. That's awesome. What a fucking take from Nate Bronze, dude. I'm reducing it to Nate Poop, dude, okay? No longer silver. No longer bronze, no longer copper. He's just fucking poop. This part is actually important, though. Yeah, folks have moved to the left in the public sphere. Motherfuckers like, yeah, they're no longer afraid to just be like, I'm a socialist. That's cool. Yeah. I love watching the progression of this guy's mental illness as B ticks off box after box of things like states and Christianity that he has now brutally alienated himself from. I'm thinking food and language are the next up on the conceptual rock bottom turnaround. Almost all of Christianity is too soft or too liberal to save. It's going to have to be a rock bottom turnaround. The will simply isn't there. This is true of most red states too. What the fuck? Bro, this guy is crazy. This is what too much theory does to a motherfucker. I think he read too much, I think. Conceptual James. Conceptual Jiminy read too much. That's what fucking happens. He's just like, he's going through the fucking motions of like becoming one of those weirdo nihilistic fucking reactionary fascists who's like, yeah, we can't save America, like, because it's just not going to be fascist enough at the speed that we need it to be. You know what I mean? Awesome. I mean, he was personally, but he's like, imagine being to the right of Christianity. He's like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what you want. Do you ever step into politics yourself? No. Being a socialist communist isn't a scary term anymore, so at least we got that going. I know it'll probably be co-opted by the wrong people, but at least it's not a boogeyman term anymore. I mean, it certainly is. Outside of this circle, it certainly is. It's just something that you can, at the very least, tell to other people, and they won't immediately retaliate. They will usually, but like there are at least progressives and liberals in the space that are like, okay, I understand what that is, kind of. But for the most part, outside of the circles that you're in, I promise you, people are still completely oblivious to that reality and that they think you're the boogeyman. I can't bring up them a comment at work or around certain family members. I would literally be disowned. It's not even just older people. I have not read theory, but everything I've heard from Marx or at least Lenin seems reasonable. Is it wrong to consider myself a communist socialist? Oh, you should read theory and figure it out on your own, I think. But don't read too much of it. What is the argument against people that say their tax dollars shouldn't be used to pay someone else's student loan debt? I don't know. The argument would be, that's how taxes work, you fucking jackass. Our taxes currently subsidize the greatest war machine on the fucking planet. They subsidize literally the oil extraction that's destroying the planet. They subsidize so much, and you shut the fuck up about all of that. How about this? I don't want roads, okay? Fuck roads. I'm not a fan of roads. I don't want them. I don't think they're valuable in commerce. I don't think they're valuable for transportation. Fuck roads. My taxes should not pay roads. Okay, does that work that way? No, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. Moderates are the victims here. Left and right equally will maul at you if you're a moderate discourse about anything. Yeah, moderates, the real victims. Man, there is no fucking moderates, dude. There is no moderates. What is a moderate? Like, oh, I just want like 30% of the fucking Haitian immigrants coming over the border to be whipped by border security. You know what I mean? Not like 100%. Come on, I'm not a Republican. I just want 40%. 40% of the children should be jailed, I think, for the crime of, coming over the border, I think. I'm a moderate. Like, I'm not racist, I'm just kind of racist, You're 100% right about most normal Americans still having a negative reaction to people who say they're socialist communists. I remember when I told my mom to classify as socialist, she threatened to disown me. My dad is literally a neo-Confederate. He calls himself a moderate. Yeah, it's just like, conservatives hate one thing, and that is to be called a conservative. They hate it. Okay? They hate it. So they do all this dumb shit to say they're centrist. They do all this dumb shit to say that they're right-wing. They do all this fucking dumb shit to say, or they're classical liberals. They're the real progressives, and the progressives are actually regressive, You guys hear that? That was my cousin sneezing in the background. That was loud as fuck. That was a dad-ass sneeze, dude. That's not a good counter-argument, in my opinion. Oil and war creates jobs. Student loan forgiveness would help the economy by giving more people a lot more money for spending. Use this one. Oh, thanks, man. Oil and war creates jobs? That's cool. There is no other way to create jobs. There is no other fucking resource extraction. There's no other way to, generate energy, R&D investment into, renewable energies or anything like that. It's only by fucking literally dicking the third world with our cock over and over again. You didn't say it's a good thing. No, you just defended it casually. That's the problem. You tried to misrepresent my position about oil and war by saying that I don't recognize, by assuming that I don't recognize that it creates jobs, or by acting like there was no other alternative. And then you follow that up by saying student loan forgiveness would help the economy by giving more people a lot more money for spending. Use this one. And you condescendingly thought that you could give me a talking point. I'm the professional here. Okay? Don't try to fucking act like you're, smarter than you actually are. Old guy I work for loves to tell me he voted for Obama. I call him a conservative, which he 100% is. For the record, oil and wars create jobs, but rebuilding our infrastructure, for example. No, you can't have that. Natural disasters create the need for more construction and healthcare jobs, so they're good, actually. Yeah, nobody's considering the fucking jobs that this meteor is going to create. Fucked up. The reality is, if you prefer your tax dollars to go to murdering innocent people and killing the planet instead of helping people's lives, you're not just batshit crazy. There's no saving your brain rot you're suffering from. Yeah, except most Americans don't think about it, or when they do think about it, they feel helpless about it, and because they are helpless about it, so they would rather not think about it. And that's why they think about, their favorite television. Does the favorite TV show have a homosexual character? Oh, that angers me. I can change that by getting mad, okay? Or does their favorite television have a villainous character that's homophobic, but is portrayed in a light that is not immediately negative? I'm mad at this show now. Why are you showing homophobia? I'm just going to yell at the TV, because that's what American politics is all about. It's where you can make change. And you can make change by fucking terrifying corporations, by creating manufactured outrage. So that's all we care about. That's all we focus on. That's all we ever get ourselves involved in. Okay? That's it. Oh, man, I'm mad. And by the way, I'm not saying these two things are morally on the same playing field. Yes, I do think that people getting upset at the mere mention of a gay person is not the same as people being upset at homophobia, but it's still equally feckless, okay? You're a fucking dumbass, okay? There's going to be some fucking racism because culture is a reflection of society, okay? Of course, good movies and good art and good shows are going to show some of the bad parts about life. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, but ultimately it doesn't matter. COVID is on further to the left than normal is on. What? Yeah, dude, my positions have greatly evolved on this matter. Past 3 days where I've had COVID, except for the past 10 years that I've been saying this exact same thing. Anyway, I think the rise of far-right conservatism is because of the collective left globally fall short of standing up for the things they stood for. Yeah, I wonder if the war between the bourgeois class and the proletariat and the complete evisceration of labor militancy by the capital-owning class had anything to do with that. I don't know. Perhaps that has something to do with it. Capitalism won. We are living in a capitalist world. The USSR fell apart, okay, both because of internal struggles and internal conflicts and poor management, mismanagement in a centralized system, and also because of external influences and the fact that America and Western capitalist nations had a fuckload more money to spend, more guns. You know, they won. They fucking won. That's it. We live in a capitalist world. And everything that is happening right now, all the shit that's bad, is because of the current economic organization that we exist under. Okay? Socialism lost. It took a fat fucking L, and there's nothing we can do about it. All right? And the reason why socialism lost and took a fat fucking L is because liberals were able to seize on the post-World War II opportunities and functionally align with the remaining fascists against socialism, against socialists, against trade unionists that they could not convert to liberals, basically. Okay? That's the short and sweet of it. And they did this in Europe, and they did this all around the world. And finally, it got to a place where you had Thatcher and Reagan, exactly, that you know, kicked it into the fucking highest drive you could. In your own words, how would you describe libertarians? House cats. They're convinced of their fierce independence while utterly dependent on a system they don't appreciate or understand. I think comparing them to cats is fucked up. I don't think cats would be as predisposed to pedophilia as libertarians are. Like, I think cats would respect age of consent laws and not advocate to change them if they had like the same wherewithal that humans have. Bro, tell me you don't think the USSR was actually that bad. Ever heard of Stalin? Did I say any of those things? First of all, I have heard of Stalin. I have, yes. Oh God, I'm not gonna go over the history of the USSR. Chatters who are going to misrepresent or misunderstand things that I'm saying right now. I don't care. Okay, yes, Stalin bad. Shut the fuck up. I said, ever heard of Stalin? Stalin did some good stuff though. Yeah, he did. Great stuff, actually. Like killing a fuckload of Nazis. That was pretty good. I'm on board with that. Hitler, not so much. Doesn't really have any redeeming qualities. Stalin, on the other hand, at least had the, you know, quality of eviscerating the Nazi force. So that was pretty good. Tell me how that's a bad thing. Go ahead, chatters. Explain to me how fucking, you know, defeating the Nazis is a bad thing. Also allied with the Nazis for a while. Yes, so did the fucking West in what is known as appeasement. And that, you know, they originally wanted to attack Germany for other reasons. And the West was like, yeah, fuck off. We're not going to do that. Also, we hired Nazis after World War II. So there was that too. And also put them to good use, killing all manner of labor militancy in Europe, actually. That was pretty cool when we did that through NATO. Okay.